there is is that when she's talking about the changes, she's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now the thing I wanted to touch base and say, what about the Earth itself, guys? Theresa, Brian, Tom, have you seen any changes in the Earth itself? The sky, the sun, the moon? Remember, I'm not a flat earther, so I don't believe in the flat Earth. But I got to tell you, the clouds, just between whatever, it does not look the same to me.
They look painted. They do.
It looks like something from The Simpsons.
That's what I was going to say too. The Simpsons.
Well, I only said this because I know that your listeners would be thinking about it too. And like I said, I'm not a flat earther, but it doesn't look right.
I'm right there with you. Like, well, for example, Louisiana, I saw this like a month or two ago. Somebody pointed out how the little chain is like extended, and I've never seen that before. And then the little blip above, what's that, Minnesota or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, the map. Oh, the map.
The maps.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. I should have said the map. See, the maps blew my mind. South America is in the wrong place. North Korea is in the wrong place. Yes, the sizes of the shapes of the states are not correct. They're just not correct.
The time zones. The time zones like a week or two ago, that blew me away. Where a small piece of Florida is now like the Central Standard. I live in Orlando, Florida, so.
Wow.
Wait. You're from Orlando?
Yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a nosy question. What high school did you graduate?
Well, I went to, I graduated from New Jersey. I moved down like 30 years ago.
I'm from Orlando.
So what high school did you graduate? What
Get me out. Because, I mean, I never meet anybody from my hometown. Or Colonial High School in 81.
You know, I graduated from Haddonfield Memorial High School in New Jersey in 1980.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
I can't believe you're from Orlando. That is, I grew up there my whole life.
Actually, talking to someone that graduated out of New Jersey. Survived. Wow. Come on, it's
nice to meet somebody from Orlando.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't think I knew anybody in Orlando. Yeah.
Since you're from New Jersey, what do you think about the Ellis Island and Liberty Island with the Statue of Liberty?
I was originally from South Jersey, but yeah, you know, my mother-in-law, you know, she's like 88, and I asked her this question a week ago. I said, I'm trying to remember, where was Statue of Liberty? What island was it on? Oh, it was in Ellis Island, you know?
Right, of course.
Really? But it's like in Liberty Island. I go, really? I said, yeah, you know? It's like,
and the thing is, like, we try to find people to agree with us, and sometimes they do, and most of the time they don't. And that's just the way that it works. But the geography really got me going because geography has changed considerably. And like I said, Australia is not the same place. New Zealand's not the same place. South America. And I'm not even I'm not even a geographic. I'm not a geography major. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
And even I can tell. I can tell when they're moving.
I used to I had a ham radio like 30 years ago, and I used to talk around the world. So I knew for South America, I knew it was under the United States. When I first realized it was like sticking way out towards the east. I said, no, that definitely got changed. And then, of course, if you want to go for the big one, you know, we're no longer in Sagittarius Arm. We're in Orion's Belt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. Right.
That one's
80,000 light years. Everything else is like a chicken wing, you know?
Right, of course. Now, the problem is that I do not live in the same hometown. I live away from my hometown. So, unfortunately, I don't see changes in my hometown because I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then to Rochester, New York, and I live in Ohio. So I don't see the changes historically in my hometowns, but I have experienced a number of things with people, of course, as I'm sure each of you have. But any guesses to what this all means? Any guesses at all?
I have a few theories, but I have a list.
Okay, go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Theresa. So you seem to be more psychic. You pick up on these Mandela effects really well. Go ahead. Tell us what you think may be causing it.
Well, there's a couple things. My top of my list is still because I don't know if you guys ever seen the show. It came out called Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was pretty cool.
Okay. I literally still have videos in front of me that I haven't watched yet, but every time I've been watching season 1, I'm trying to get through it. CERN has got themselves involved in a lot of weird things going on, and I always see their name come up for different things that are going on as far as time traveling, experiments, wormholes. Their name seems to pop up a lot. I think they're doing experiments, and it's affecting us. That's my number one.
Yeah,
I would have to agree.
I agree with that.
Me too.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
I would have to agree.
Able to see the city in the sky, and I sat there and I stared at it, and I know it sounds crazy to you guys, but I took pictures, and Brian's seen them, and they were not Photoshop.
You sent them to me. It wasn't Photoshop. And
no, it wasn't. It's from a cheap Android $30 phone. How could I do something like that on a cheap phone?
So, Theresa, like I said, it happened in China, and it made national news, and they said it was just a mirage.
No,
I've seen that on the internet.
No, there's no way that was a mirage.
I've seen it 4 times already, and it's usually weird. It happens when it's cloudy. That's what I've noticed. That it happens when it's cloudy, not when it's clear.
Now, guys, my question to you was not the reason for the Mandela effect, because someone played spin the bottle in the sky. I don't care what the reason may be. I want to know if there's an actual reason why we see it. Do you think there's a purpose behind it? And I think
the veils are thinning.
But for what reason? Because I'm thinking there's got to be some reason why I see it.
I think Planet Nibiru is getting closer. I think that might be the cause between Planet Nibiru and between CERN is causing all these overlaps to different dimensions.
Yeah,
it reminds me, sorry, show Sliders, but that's what it reminds me of the show Sliders.
It does.
What do you think?
Well, the Nibiru, I was watching Jacob Israel, but there's this other guy, an Australian minister, who brought up Nibiru. You know when it went dark for 3 hours when Christ was on the cross?
Yeah.
They said Nibiru came across then. It created a solar eclipse.
Oh my God! Yeah,
hours.
I heard about that.
Brian, what do you think?
So it makes elliptical orbit every so many whatever time period. But I think CERN is the one that's really collapsing the realities.
Yeah.
And I've seen like some kind of undocumented stuff where they had demons or they see these spirits and in the energy field. I really feel that that's the one that's
they're up to no good there.
Yeah, but that would be a rationale and reason for why things are happening.
Yeah.
But that does not explain why us, Tom, Theresa, me, Brian, it doesn't explain why we see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Because we're more spiritual. We're more open to it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that special. That's the thing. I think I'm just a normal person, but there's a problem.
No, but the thing is with the, I call them Mandela lights, I include myself, but they say the characteristics are you're more like open-minded, you're more like laid back. I mean, you're walking in the fruit of love, where somebody
that is true.
does something to you, you respond in the fruit of love.
Yeah. Yep.
But the people are more hard-headed, more vengeful, more spiteful. They'll never get it.
Do you think? Do you think like chemtrails? I was going to say,
guys. In my own opinion, I cannot. I'm not so trite.
Okay.
Not so trite because I'm still understanding a Christian. Besides, I'm a Christian guy, but I'm able to do anything a non-Christian can do. I have that ability. I have grace, but that's about it. But guess what? If I go rob a bank, I'm going to be doing some time. You understand?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it may have something to do with more paranormal. Because, Tom, have you had any paranormal experiences? Theresa, have you had paranormal experiences?
Yes. I'm not
talking about NDEs and all this other stuff where we died quantumly. I don't think so. I think
you talking about laying hands on people and watch them get healed and.
No, I'm not talking about
wait. I did have an experience years ago that I never told anybody about. I was in church and I felt 2 hands touch my back. And there was nobody literally sitting behind me, and they were man's hands. And I completely forgot about that when you guys brought it up. And I think it might have been the hand of God that touched my, or that touched my back, and I remember that.
Well, I am of the opinion that this is not of the devil. I'm of the opinion that God is the one who's doing it, allowing it. How about that? Allowing it. Not
He's
doing
allowing it. Right.
He would have to be. He would have to be allowing it.
And then in us, he's allowing us to see it. And that's the question. Why are we allowed to see it? Because I could frustrate a lot of people. I could frustrate myself. I'm talking about the Lindbergh baby or arguing about the four-seater of the JFK limousine. Yeah. I don't want to.
I don't know how many arguments I've gotten in with the four-seaters.
Right. So
I mean, it's six. I mean, the people want to say it's six, and me remembering four. I've gotten in a lot of arguments over that one.
Right.
Well, you got the museum has a four-seater at West Exit, you know.
Exactly.
That's residue.
And people saying, "Well, the car was black, not white," and and I've been finding pictures with white cars. So was it black or was it white?
Well, yeah, and it's not something. The problem is that I try not to fight with people. I just see if they believe in the Mandela effect. An odd behavior is these people are usually very isolated, very confused, they're scared. So what I do is I try to help them as best as I can. First of all, by telling them they're not crazy, and then helping them any way that I can. Because they have to work too. They have, by and large, they're not a rich crowd. They work for a living. You understand? So
exactly.
Have we all, the other two guests, have you guys tried to wake other people up? And how do they respond to that? I get people that are shocked, and some of them are like, I wish you would never showed me that. I get a lot of happy ones. I get a lot of shocked ones. I shocked a security guard in a parking lot at a shopping center, and he freaked out.
Well, Theresa, people know that I'm serious, and if I can answer your question, can I, Theresa?
Yeah.
People know that I'm serious. They know that I'm not kidding, and they know that I studied it out in as much as I can. I'm not a scholar, and I scare them because they know. Sometimes I scare them because they know I'm not kidding. And that's the problem. See, so I try not to bring it up with people all the time because I don't want to.
I do it in a subtle way. I say, hey, do you see this or whatever? And then if they see it, then I go deeper. If they don't see it, I go, I guess that's the way it is, and I stop it there.
Like I was sitting at the bus stop last weekend. I'm going to give you all an example. There was a lady sitting next to me, and there happened to be a men's warehouse sitting right across the street. And I looked at her and I said, "Do you think that's spelled right?" And she looked at me. She goes, "No, that's wrong." And I said, "You see it too?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she sat there. She didn't say nothing for a while. And then I started bringing up residue on my phone. And she's like, "That's the way that I remember it." She just got on the bus and gave me the weirdest look.
Theresa, that is the epitome of subtlety. That is the epitome of subtlety. I could not have been so subtle if I tried. Right?
Sometimes a little, but I'm sometimes a little bit in your face with it because I want people to see what's going on, like my Applebee's, my A and my P. I talked to a lady who works there, and she freaked out, and she's like, "That's wrong. She works there."
I wish. God, I'm sorry.
The last month, I've been realizing, I've been missing out on so many Mandela effects. Is what I'm doing now. I'm looking at everything and memorizing the way it is today. And that's when I discovered that Etna thing. I'm just driving home from work. I see the A&E connector. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, Tom, I'm really glad you found that one. That one stunned me because I had Aetna insurance and I can't believe it changed.
Yes, and I've noticed quite a bit. Tom and Brian, are you in some Mandela Effect Facebook groups?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
With the one with Life Matrix and Cats Group and a couple others, with the picture of Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, the one with the Nelson Mandela too. Yeah, I'm in that one.
I believe they can be very helpful. Can be very helpful because at least it gives you a chance to talk to other people and share some experiences.
Yeah, well, I'm in the one group with Cats Group with
what's the name of that one?
Becky Campbell.
What's the name of her group?
Let me pull up one laptop here.
Which one is Cats Group?
That's what I was wondering.
But yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up.
Let me ask you guys something too. Let me ask you guys something else. How many times have you been able to tap? It's like almost like you can tap into the super conscious, or like the I don't know. I guess like Carl Jung put it, the universal consciousness. And I guess it's through for me, because I'm a Christian. I see it as like the Holy Spirit working through all of us, or the common spirit that we all have. How many times are you able to see that and tap into that?
I don't understand what you mean, Tom.
Either.
Who, me? This is Brian speaking. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, it's weird. It's almost like a psychic thing. Like you can sense, like earlier today, I was playing this song. Actually, it was "Pour Some Sugar on Me," and later on down the line, somebody else is playing it. You guys ever had those kind of moments?
Right. What you're talking? Yes, but I have names for those things. Whether it's synchronicity. Okay. That's synchronicity. Okay, when things line up like that, or you're thinking of a friend in that
Bible.
Things like that. What?
Oh, Brian.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Brian, what happened last night with the Bible? Remember? We were talking about capitals of Tennessee.
Yes. The Tennessee one screws a lot of people up. Why does it do that?
Someone that said inside my Bible when I opened it, and I didn't even notice what it said in that Bible. Remember?
No. Can you repeat? Can you say what you said again?
Remember we were talking about capitals?
Yeah, the capital of Tennessee, Knoxville or Nashville.
And I opened the Bible, and I never looked to see where the Bible was from. It's from.
Yes, I remember that. Your Bible is from Knoxville, right?
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that until last night when we were talking about the capitals. And right after that, I'm looking at my Bible like, weren't we just talking about that?
So what do you? Let me ask Tom, and Ty. What do you guys remember the capital of Tennessee? Because I'm all screwed up, but I seem to remember both. Are you guys having these dual memories?
Yeah,
I just don't remember.
I do remember, but I know which ones they are, but the other ones fit. Like Juneau and Anchorage, I know it's Juneau, but I know people think it's Anchorage.
I'm the same way. I remember Juneau.
Brazil. I always thought it was Rio de Janeiro.
Right.
I think it actually was. Like at some point it switched. At some point, I think it did a flip-flop. Not a flip-flop, but it changed at some point to Brasilia. And I remember in high school, it was Brasilia. But and that was like in the late 90s. That's when it changed for me.
How many people here, Tom and Brian and Theresa, tripped over the Southern Ocean?
The what?
What?
The Southern Ocean on the map. You know, the Southern Ocean.
Yeah.
How many people
Mexico?
No, the Southern Ocean. Down, there's the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Antarctic. What about, or the Arctic Ocean? What is the Southern Ocean? Does anybody remember?
I've never heard of the Southern Ocean.
I've never heard of it either.
Holy crap.
The ocean now exists, but when I talk to the kids, they know all about the Southern Ocean.
I've never heard of it, and I'm 15.
No.
No. They have.
Yeah,
okay, so it's one of those things where the things are changing. Now, the thing that gets me with the Mandela effect, and I think your listeners would be wanting to know this, is the Mandela effect is ever changing. It didn't just start in 2012 or 2014 or 2015. It changes from day to day, and I've noticed that a strange thing is sometimes things change almost because we noticed it. Very strange.
That's right. That's quantum mechanics, my good man.
You mean like my freezes?
You collapse the wave of probability when you observe it.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's like Schrodinger's cat, right? Is it that or it's alive? And we look at it, we know it's alive, or if it's dead, and we definitively say it's something, and then it flips the other way. Thanks. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, when you observe it, it collapses the wave of it could be a probability of anything, but once you observe it, it collapses it becomes one outcome. And the thing is, the reason why the Mandela effect, that the past gets retroactively changed, because they've proven in experiments, like, when you observe it, the particle knows that you've observed it, and then it retroactively collapses it to be that way. So,
and then what happens when it flips the other way?
What's that?
What happens when it flips the other way? As Theresa
Well, it
has,
just gets recollapsed now, presently. The thing is, the present changes. Yeah, the present changes the past, and that brings it a
the way
whole.
that I understood it, though, in particle physics, was it is undescribed, either negative or positive. In the quantum state of flux, it's both negative and positive at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's a 1 and a 0. Yeah.
And once you look at it, you tell if it's 1 or 0.
Yeah, once you observe it, it collapses. It becomes a 1 or a 0.
Yeah, but I don't think that we collectively are an ambivalent group. I think we know what we know. So, not to quote Edith McQuell, you understand? I'm not quoting Edith McQuell, but I think we know what we know. And if we know what we know, why is there 6 seats in that car and not 4? Because we know there's 4 in the Kennedy car.
And here's the thing too. I heard that Life magazine, or I believe it was Life magazine, the one that had the original film, and they destroyed it. Something happened, and the original film got destroyed, so they had to bring in Zapruder's film. Do you think?
Right.
I mean, I know we're looking at the same event from 2 different perspectives. So I think it's funny that the original was destroyed. Don't you think there's something fishy about that?
I think there's something fishy about everything. But one thing that I know is that, for example, when I'm talking about something historically in time that I've not experienced firsthand, which means it's hearsay, okay, that can change. But when I'm talking about something solid that I'm holding in my hand, like say a Bible or a book or a tape that I'm holding in my hand, and the lyrics change or the verses change, that bothers me because I know that I have firsthand experience, firsthand knowledge from something I'm holding. And that's what we, as people that believe in the Mandela effect, really bothers us quite a bit. Like Theresa had said about her Skechers, her shoes.
Oh,
yeah.
My closet.
The old
it changed in her closet. So it wasn't something historically. It's something that she had that changed in her closet, in her possession.
They've been in there 6 years. That's what freaked me out. They've been sitting on the shelf for 6 years.
Right.
Gosh.
And that's what. So that I believe there's something more physical to it. Now the question is, here's the question: have we changed, or have everybody else changed? I think the answer is I don't like it, but I think we've changed.
Wow.
I think so. I think so too.
Our bodies change. I don't think our soul, our spirit, or our minds changed. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind is still static, as I would say, but what you experience is still the same, no matter what reality has changed or what you can see with the 5 senses.
Well, let me ask. Speaking on the 5 senses, have you guys noticed any of your eye color change or anything like that? Anything weird like that, like a birthmark moving from one spot to another or changing shades? Have you noticed some of that stuff?
No, I haven't seen anything like that.
Physical problems, sure. But what do you want? I'm 47, so of course I have to go get new glasses. What do you want? But that's it. You know, I mean, I'm the same person. Thankfully, my wife sees the Mandela effect, so I'm different than the rest that don't. You know, if their wife doesn't see or their girlfriend doesn't see, it causes a lot of trouble.
I know it does. It causes big problems.
Right, exactly. Now I can tell you right now. Okay, just for your listeners, I have a son that is autistic. Okay, I have a son that's autistic. He's my 2 youngest sons
Bless
that
his
still
heart.
live at home. My oldest son of 2 is autistic, severely autistic. He's not autistic anymore.
What? Did that happen?
Anymore.
Did it cure itself on its own, or it never was like that?
It is like that. It was like that. He does not act like that. He has no.
Wow.
He knows about this condition. He just does not act like that anymore. There's no resemblance of it that was there. Now, was he a severe autistic? No. Was he mildly? Yes. Does it have any bearing now in his life? No. Not that we can see.
Right. Do you think chemtrails may be responsible for some of these behaviors?
It would be if we're talking over 20 years, but we're talking over a very, very rapid period of time. We're talking over months. We're not talking over years. We saw a huge change within months, and we're happy every step that he's taking. And now all of a sudden, he's absolutely, there's nothing. I used to have to hold his hand through everything, proverbially hold his hand through things, and now I don't. Oh, he's very right. But these are changes, so much so that my younger son says, "What happened?" My younger son says, "What happened? He's changed." So, but would you still call him autistic? Sure, because he is. But to us, he's much different than he was. He's a different type of person. Does that make sense? Now, has anybody talked to anybody about the Mandela effect, and they to you had changed the personal relationships with people that don't believe the Mandela effect? Have they changed to you, Theresa? Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister?
Both of my parents are passed, but I have a couple of friends that they seem off. They're more aggressive. They're meaner. They're not the same. I don't know how to. They're like pod people.
Like pod people. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Like pod people. Right. Now, what about you, Tom? Like pod people? Or?
Pod people.
Well, there's like in my church, there's two guys that are like totally right on board, man. I have a deeper connection with them, but everybody else is like, a lot of people I don't tell them. And one guy is trying to tell, but it's like he just doesn't see it, and it's like, sometimes you just got to be like Nicodemus, man. You just got to.
Tom, have you seen the changes in the Bible?
Oh, absolutely, man. That King James is so jacked up. The NIV originally, that used to be the messed up version because man took out the blood scriptures, omitted some scriptures. That was done by man, but now with King.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that. I'm not just a King James Bible believer.
I know, but what I'm saying, the King James and New King James is so messed up that makes the NIV more accurate. Like the one that came out in Revelations about the creation of God. Well, in the NIV, it says, yeah. But it seems like whatever's attacking the King James, it's like a vendetta on that particular version. And just ironic that the body of Christ in general esteems that the old King James, the 1611 Texas Receptus, is like the most accurate version, but now it's the most jacked up version of all.
But they don't see it.
No, they don't see it. I mean, I was a Jimmy Swagger fan like back in the early 80s. I just happened to tune in his network, his son saying about the statements of faith, this church, and he said, and we believe that the King James Bible is the inerrant word of God. It's actually 100% accurate.
Well, the thing is that when people said that it was inerrant, Tom, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
People said it was inerrant. Yeah. They meant without error. They didn't just mean doctrinally. They meant punctuation. They meant spelling.
Exactly.
And you know that couches weren't around. Take up that couch. Nobody's taking up their couch, man. Nobody's doing that. And then men laying with men. Men laying with men. No. It was never there. It was never there. It was never. So the thing is that when you bring those verses to their attention, they're like, yeah, it was there. And when I went to go, and believe me, when I first saw it, I actually went through each one of the supposed Mandela effect. They are shattering the myth of the Mandela effect, and I watched every single one, and none of them could prove the Mandela effect wrong. They thought they were proving it wrong, but none of them did. None of them proved it wrong. So I thought that was very strange that none of them could prove it wrong. They just said that we were wrong. That's all. That we were believing a lie.
95% of the people that try to debunk the Mandela effect are unsuccessful. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, that's just totally. They don't have a leg to stand on.
I think 100%. I think 100%.
Yeah, I think you're right too. 100%.
But the problem is that you remember when I said about Matthew chapter 7, judge not lest you be judged.
Yeah.
I remember
when I said judge not lest you be judged. This is back in the early 80s. I knew about Matthew 7. I mean, I was raised Catholic, and then when you're Catholic, the first thing you know is Matthew chapter 7, judge not lest you be judged. So, anyways, that Matthew chapter 7, I went to watch the Mandela effect debunkers about Matthew chapter 7. The guy said, and I know about Matthew chapter 7. I was raised and taught, as you were, that Matthew chapter 7 is the most well-known verse of the Bible by everyone that's not Christian. That's the first thing that they tell you when you tell them anything else about the Bible. They say, judge not lest you be judged. And then you got to explain to them that you're not judging, you're just trying to tell them. Right? But the fellow said that Matthew chapter 7 is not the most well-known verse